Hi everyone, it's Justine. This is the summer Q&A, the one that we do every 3 months. Thank you for all your questions on YouTube. This was supposed to be a light-hearted, easy to make, easy to take in video. Turns out your questions are super high level yet again, so I'm gonna have to think about it hard. Fair warning, it's a wild mix. I tried to cover as many topics as possible without an order. So if there is a question you're not interested in, just skip, move on to the next one. Let's go. First question. Hi Justine. Hi. Do you have moments when you feel stuck or discouraged to undertake a project? How do you find strength and self-confidence to move on and navigate in a tough business world? I try to always keep the bigger goal in mind. I know if I make it through this project, it opens me the door for this and that later on. So it's like a means towards a bigger end, and that's the motivation. When I'm stuck, that's a different issue. Then either I do something else if I have time and I come back to my project where I'm stuck later, or if I have a deadline, I think that's the magical thing for me. If there is a deadline, I will make it. And if you work well under pressure, then setting yourself deadlines and different milestones on the way towards that deadline is super helpful, I think. What pieces would you consider as staples must-haves for the autumn wardrobe? Okay. I would say a pair of comfortable flat boots that end below the knee, black or brown, basic colors that you can match with skirt and heavy tights or jeans. So pretty much anything you wear in that season. Then a tailored coat in wool or similar if you're vegan. That is well tailored, heavy and dense. That's not going to lose its shape when the air starts to be wet and humid. Typical in fall, at least here in Europe. Then a scarf in the fabric that you like to touch and that you would love to have hugs with all day. I feel like in autumn you need cozy, at least I know I do. And then thin gloves to protect your skin before it gets really cold and the skin starts to crack, because then it's too late. What is your here to impress work outfit? That's a good one. I personally always try to wear something that the people I'm meeting with don't expect me to wear. Typically, if I'm going to a business meeting, I know that the rest of the people, they're very likely to wear business clothing in colors ranging from navy to black. I'm exaggerating a little, but not that much, right? So if I'm going with the colorful dress in a fancy design, or I take my neon platforms with impeccable toenails, that's important if you're showing your feet, then it's going to surprise everyone. And surprise is always good, always a little impressive, because you're voluntarily attracting attention and that reflects self-confidence. Can you name any affordable clothing brands that are both good quality and are not part of the fast fashion industry? This is such a tough question, guys, because first, it changes. If you had asked me 20 years ago, is Gap good quality? I would have said yes. Now they've gone overseas, they've reduced their costs, they've kept the prices equal. So they have maximized their margins, and now I wouldn't say that Gap is a good deal anymore. It's not quality anymore. There are also French brands that do the same, like Couples. They're saving so much on the fabrics. It's a pity because the cuts are interesting. So it depends. It really depends. And most brands I've never tried myself. So I can't give you a qualified opinion, you know? Why I started this new series where I test and try brands. I did that last week with the ASOS video. I intend on trying more brands in the future to give you a qualified answer. Until then, I don't really know. Yeah? And I think it's more important to learn to understand, to see good quality, to recognize it when you see it. So I've tackled that in previous videos. I will link them down below for you if you're interested. Are you married? You said to ask. That's right. So I will take your question and answer just your question. No, I'm not married. What are some basic alterations to clothes that can be done relatively easily at home? Anything that has to do with shortening, so if you're suppressing fabric at the hem level, on pants, on a skirt, on sleeves, that's fairly easy. It's also not complicated to take in fabric at the waist, so that the waist is not like this, but more like more narrower. You can add embellishments, sew extra fabric on top, add sequins, add ruffles, any embellishment, something that you sew on top of the rest is easy. I would stay away from trying to add fabric, because then you need to know about pattern making. That's something I would give out to a seamstress or to a tailor. Hey, Hey, can you suggest a book about fashion history and or design for someone outside the industry who just wants to know more? So this is the one I really, really like. Fashion Since 1900, edition Thames and Hudson World of Art. This is a good one. It's not that thick, it has pictures and it's in color. I like the layout. It's very easy to read because it's chronological and you can read it from the beginning to the end like a book really. And it gives you a good overview. The only thing is that it starts in 1900, but 100 years of fashion I think is a good place to start. What is your favorite tote bag or purse? You can grab a pen, a notepad, but you're also gonna need a thick wallet. My favorite purse, which I unfortunately do not own, is the Faye, F-A-Y-E, by Chloe. I think in terms of design and aesthetics, it's an absolute masterpiece. It cost over €1,000, but it's great design and great quality. Salut Justine. I was wondering what beauty treats do you recommend? Being French, I know you girls do care a lot about beauty products and good quality. So what is your personal beauty trick, hack, secret? You realize you're asking a French girl to share her secrets. Are you sure what you're doing? I would say hydration, always. Of my face and my body twice a day, no matter what, in any season. Even if I'm not gonna show my legs, they will be hydrated because it's just so easy to prevent damage than repairing your skin once it is damaged. Also, I've never ever shaven my legs. Shaving is awful for the skin and your hair grows back longer and stronger. So I only wax or use a machine since I'm 13. Like I've never ever shaven, and the more you do it, the less hairs you have, so it's also a hidden benefit. How do you keep your very long hair healthy and in good condition? My hair is normal, so it's not very dry, not very greasy. It's easy to care for, I have to say, but the ends are several years old, so they will be dry. Like there's nothing you can do. It's old hair. So when I wash it, I always put a mask, at least on the lower 20-30 centimeters, and like leave it for 10 minutes. Every second or third time I wash my hair, I will put the mask on the whole head and really wait 10 minutes. It's meditation time. It's quality time, so I enjoy it. Otherwise, I use leave-in nourishing conditioners, and I try to not blow dry my hair if I don't have to. I prefer to let it air dry. I love your videos. It makes me feel more empowered as a consumer. That's the biggest compliment, guys. Thank you so much. I'm curious about you as a person. What do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? I love to learn, see, do new things and go to places I've never been to before. I crave that all the time. So this is where my free time goes. I have no regrets. I also like meeting with friends. Right now I'm working a lot though, so I'm not doing a great job at that. And hopefully this will change soon. Describe yourself in 5 words. Whew. 5 words. Curious. Desperately romantic. That counts as one. Adaptable. Precise. Hardworking. They're positive words, I'm aware. I also realize they can be contradictory. How do fashion designers earn their money? I'd say just like regular jobs. It's not like pop stars. So most of them have a regular day job. They're employed, they get a paycheck every month. Karl Lagerfeld with Chanel, all those famous ones, Galliano for Margiela, he gets a regular paycheck. Then you have the designers who have their own labels, like Tom Ford, like me, Marc Jacobs now. I don't know if they pay themselves. I don't pay myself a paycheck. I get paid when I sell something. So it varies a lot throughout the year. When I have a new collection, I sell more, I earn more. When everything is sold out, I don't. So it's fluctuating a lot more. And then you have the third option, which is freelancing. If I'm going to do a project with a brand, they're not going to hire me. They're going to book me for a fixed time and a fixed project scope, and they will pay me for that. So I will invoice them and I will be working with them freelance. My question is, what are your thoughts on street style and the Instagram fashion we see on social media these days? I think I'm changing my mind on that matter. You know, decades ago, think your new look. There was the look of the season. Every woman on the photo was wearing the same outfit pretty much and the same hairstyle. And it seemed like until a couple of years ago, before Instagram got so big, anything could work. You know, it was the time of anything goes and there are no seasons and no decades anymore, blah, blah, blah. Now, in the last couple of years, mainly through Instagram and the super influence of people like the Kardashians, I feel like teenage girls and boys start to look the same again. Makeup, the way they shape their bodies, the way they dress, is becoming really consistent again. So I think it's the end of the anything goes period. Many people I've encountered see investing in a wardrobe as selfish or vain, rather than an important part of life and self-expression. What will your response be to these people? Good one. If you think that buying clothes is selfish, then you can go naked for a week and see if people find you more altruistic. I mean, everyone needs clothes, just like you need food and a roof above your head. It's a basic of life in society. Then if you think it's vain to spend too much on garments, realize that by spending too little, you're supporting a system that has ethical issues. The whole thing of fast fashion. And it's not just the case in fashion. Everything that you decide to purchase or not as a consumer has an impact and makes a statement, and no one is outside of that economic system. Then the self-expression part is the fun part in fashion. You can feel good in your body through clothes. You can give a different impression to other people. You can play with the perception they have of you. You can artistically express yourself. I think people who don't see that part haven't tried. How important is studying at a prestige or elite university in regards to fashion design? I don't think you need to go to an elite university, and they're super expensive. I do think that you need to learn all the skills that a university like that would teach you, but there are other ways to do it. You go to evening classes, online classes, you get a teacher, you build a sewing group in your town. You need to learn the skills of sewing, draping, pattern making, production techniques, super important if you want to actually produce the garments you design later on. You need to understand how tailoring works. You need to understand lingerie, knitting, if that's going to be your specialty. You need to learn that somehow. Hey Justine, in your videos you look so self-confident. How did you get to the confidence you have now? Do you have some tips maybe? I think I come across as more self-confident than I really am. It's because I've got some practice now talking to this camera, and it's never really challenging me. So it feels quite safe, to be honest. But in normal life, especially now that I'm trying to build up my business, figuring out this YouTube thing, discovering how social media work, and so on and so forth, there are tons of topics I'm not confident about. I would say that for me, preparation is super helpful. Like every time you go to a meeting, you know what the goal is, what you're in this meeting for, who the others are that you're meeting, what they want, what's your goal, are your goals compatible, where can you find a compromise? And if you know every time you're going somewhere what you're doing there, you collect good outputs. And the more good outputs you get, the more confidence you build up. That's it. I hope I didn't speak too fast and that the video is not too long. We'll see when I edit it. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this Q&A. Thank you so much. The next one will be in fall. I'm thinking of doing it as a live stream. So we would decide a date and a time. Everybody, you and me, goes online at the same time. You see me in live. You type your questions in the chat and I can answer to the questions in live. Would you find that more interesting and fun to try? I've never tried it. Or do we stick to a format like this one? Let me know. I will see you next week in a new video. It's one that took a ton of work to prepare with the whole team. So I really hope that you're gonna like it, enjoy it. See you next week. Take care. Bye.